Hello there, Crusader here. Welcome to part 1 of my guide on how to carry yourself out of lower elo using Vanguard. I hope you enjoy the video and have a nice day. Why a Vanguard guide? Well, I'm sure many of you know the pain of a 4 DPS comp without a frontline. Maybe some of you would pick a tank and just don't feel comfortable doing so. Part 1 of this guide will give you the basics on how to be a proper frontline and carry your lower elo rank games as a tank. So the first basic is pick a Vanguard that you feel comfortable with, that you enjoy playing, that you have fun playing. That's the main thing here because it is a video game. For me that is Venom. And after you pick your Vanguard you need to understand the basics of his kit. How do you mitigate damage, where's your damage potential. It always helps you to understand the other Vanguards. You don't need to play them all, it just helps to understand where they are tanky, how they work. Especially if you have them against you. For the first clip you're seeing, my Steven is the second tank. He's not using his portal strat, so we don't get a free push into the enemy team. That means that I will just go with him as frontline, and the idea is that we create space, bait enemy dive and engage with our HP pool, and push our shield really late. We did misplay it though. Steven and I walked up together. We both lost a lot of HP. And thus the fish could only get me up to full, Steven gets walled off and just dies for our mistake. But that is no problem, you don't need to worry if this happens in your games. Just make sure to protect your backline from their cleanup so you don't get staggered more. Keep your little people around you, keep in mind where you want to go, and then try to fish for the CDs of the enemy tanks. As you can see, they engage on me, they try to wall me in, and that is fine. You don't want them to fight your little people, you want them to blast things into you. Fish for their CDs, keep in mind where your team is. I'm sure many of you missed him, but behind the enemy team, my Starlord is just flanking. And as we got the big wall of Groot, which is his defensive cooldown, we start our push in. Groot forgets his healer, and that way we get a free push on the point. We train the healers down while trying to keep our healer in line of sight. As you can see, their Venom didn't do that, so I get Loki for free more or less, and try to stand between him and my fish so the fish can keep on healing. This way we get the push for free, and the first takeaways are know thy tank and get an understanding of the other Vanguards and how they work, and then keep a cool head in those pushes. Keep aware of the spacing you create and the positioning of your teammates, and play around the cooldowns of you and the enemy's tanks. So for the defense, I'm showing you how it's done correct with Venom. You can hold the high ground here, protect all flanks, because you are the fastest one in the fight with your deep dive. And then my second tank is a Penny, a strong corner holding tank. Her defense is the R2-D2 you see left of the bridge. And as soon as someone goes for that R2-D2, we try to get behind him and zone him off his team so we can punish whoever tries to take our Penny's defensive cooldown, and that is what we just did. The first push is over immediately because they lost one tank. There Steven doesn't respect that, and as soon as I see him flying, I punish his positioning and go in for his little people. He comes back down, but it's too late. His Moon Knight ate too much damage and we get another free kill, a stagger. And at that point you need to keep in mind, if you get these positions, some of the tanks are prone for over chasing, like Venom, Banner and Captain America. So keep an eye out for your backline, don't over chase, know where your team is standing and where frontline is needed, and react to pings. Some of your teammates don't communicate via voice chat, so you always want to keep a cool head and see where the pings go down and where the frontline needs to go. As you can see, I am able to shift back on point, know where the enemies are coming, can frontline the Steven, and he flies away, I guess. So his healer is a lamb to the slaughter, free kill, another push completely demolished, and that's it. That's all you gotta do for these defensive pushes. And now to the second game I want to show you, a proper Venom Vanguard game where I don't need to play the frontline all game long, but can actually really abuse my movement speed and my cleanup potential in fights to stagger the team. So this Steven did decide to go for a TP flank, and I follow him. Of course, the TP flank is nice, and you see I get a free deep dive into the Thor and his backline. We zone Thor off the point, use all our defensive CDs, and the Steven may take over after us. And as you can see, we are able to soak around 2000 HP if we go in separately and nicely coordinated, and the enemy team just has no chance. Our damage dealers and healers live a pretty free life because all that damage that goes into us is free. The healers can heal us back up, and we just punish them for staying. This Groot and the Adam Warlock should have backed up, acknowledged the point is gone. They didn't, and so we just dive in and stall them. The idea is not to wipe them completely at this point. The idea is to get the team up the choke, completely hinder the enemy team of taking position at this choke. We don't greed for kills. You even see Darkchild coming back out, because if we greed for kills at this point, the choke is lost. As soon as our team comes back up and is behind us, we are able to take down the Thor, because he will overchase and try to contest the point, get a healer. And with him done, we can go in and try to mop them all up. As I got my ultimate ready, I got a really good possibility to go in very hard, very deep, deal a lot of damage. We managed to take most of them out. I noticed that my damage dealer died though, and so I trade to Groot, wait for the Rubberman stagger, and just took out of there. He now is completely cut off his team. His team spawned in the back alley, while he is somewhere around the big center building and has only the ability to engage or feed. He does a mix of both, and so we got a free 6v5 on our hands because he was just too slow on his rotation, and we punish it. Immediately going back in, trying to train a healer down. We get one. We go for the Groot because he can't really escape. He can only try to wall us up. I'm the right one to wall off because I can always jump out, back to the team, heal up for the full. And now as I see my team pushing the enemies into their old spawn, my idea is not to chase that, but to go for the next choke point. Before they can set up and just choke us here in the entrance of the first big room, I go up, I clean the high ground, and find the flank to the team fight. My team was still fighting and pushing, and we were able to just stagger some more. Poor Mantis gets walled off by her Groot. Groot dies, and with Groot being down, the game is at this point basically lost. As long as we three chasing here don't overdo it and keep in mind where our team can still heal us and see us, we should be fine to just close this one out. Punisher pulls an ultimate to the right of us. We all respect it, go immediately for him. And right here you see why you don't greed for kills. This Wolverine would have been a possible slam behind that frog, but we don't want to get kidnapped. We don't want to give the enemy any chance of a comeback. We just want to keep them staggered and win this game free. Yeah, awareness, awareness, awareness. Free double kill just for listening to a ping of that Punisher, juicing them up. And this game is done. We were able to hold our big CCs, can mop them up on their last contest and just push this one out. And with that, we are on the defending side. And same as in the first one I showed you as defending Venom, we will as well be going for the high ground hold. Keep an eye out whom of the enemy is going where, and be aware that there might be a portal incoming. So it is what it is the strength of Venom. You are the fastest towards such a portal flank, and so communicate with your team, ping them where you're going, and then slam hard. You need to keep them focused in one location, don't let them spread out too far, and try to focus them down one by one. If you can tag healers, tag healers. If not, get the one that's the next target to you and dish out some damage. We were able to mop them up, clean them out, and their TP flank is completely denied. That cooldown won't be back up for quite a while, and so we got a nice and easy hold on our hands from now on. Yeah, be aware, the Punisher's shooting on the wall. I see that he might need some line of sight in order to help us hold this small choke, and with that turret setup, the enemy cannot push through this room. So we go down, we help our Panther, engage a little deeper just to create space, push them out. Don't overchase them at this point, keep in mind where your team can help you and actually see what's going on, and retreat in time. The main thing is not to die, don't give them any room, you're just here to delay them. Their time is ticking, not yours. Don't forget your healers, Cloak was fine after all, but it doesn't hurt to look around. Punisher is able to hold this door, and they just can't come in. And with that, I want to sum up the first part of this guide. And the most important things you need to take away at this point are know thy tank and your limits. know what the other tank buddies can do and how they want to play, because it helps you countering the enemy's front line. And then be aware that you are the bodyguard. You clean up the flanks if need be, you protect your little people, and you hold the chokes if there's no one else to stand. Because if someone can soak damage, then it's you with the big HP bars and not some of the squishier members of your team. I hope this guide was useful for you. I hope you found it entertaining, interesting. Leave a like, leave a sub, and I hope to see you in part 2, where we'll be going over the gameplay as a solo Vanguard player.